Bad grades have to be studied. Have you ever seen your child come home from school looking hesitant, fiddling with their bag strap, and whispering, "Mom, I got a 7 today." And right after that, a storm of scolding erupts. "Why didn't you get a 10? You're so dumb. How will you ever succeed?" Sound familiar? Many parents have either witnessed or experienced this situation. But hold on. Let's take a step back and ask, is a low grade really that scary? Should school be about high grades or learning from mistakes? This is a true story. A first-grade boy came home with a 7 on his test and was met with slaps and angry words from his mother. Meanwhile, a girl from the same class got a 4. But her mom simply smiled and said, "That's okay, sweetie. Low grades mean we need to learn more." Other parents nearby gave her puzzled looks, thinking, "What kind of parenting is that?" As it turned out, the little girl had been going through a difficult time at home, which affected her studies. But her mother didn't force her to excel in every subject. Instead, she helped her grasp the basics, avoided failing grades, and encouraged her to read books, visit museums, and explore her passions. And the result? When she entered university, she became much more confident and told her mother, "College is amazing. Mom, for the first time, I feel like I have value, not like before when I was constantly scolded for bad grades." Her mother sighed in relief, knowing she had made the right decision by not pressuring her daughter for perfect scores. Are high grades really that important? One person shared online, "I used to be confident in my math skills until I tried helping my nephew with his homework. That's when I realized today's curriculum is completely different from what I learned. I had to quietly step away." Another person recalled being scolded and punished by their father for always barely passing. But one day, their father helped them with a homework problem. And when the teacher graded it below average, he finally stopped judging so harshly. Some students admitted that their awards and certificates were mostly for show, to impress relatives and neighbors, because their grades often came from connections rather than actual skills. A teacher even shared that some students begged for higher grades because if they didn't get a 9 or 10, they would lose privileges at home. But let's look at Cheyenne from the Doraemon comics. Once, he stole Nobita's magic pen to get an unexpectedly high score. But when he proudly showed his father, the man cried, not out of pride, but because he knew his son must have cheated. After a harsh punishment, Cheyenne returned the pen and said, "I don't need a 10 anymore." So, is getting high grades at any cost really worth it? Low grades aren't a bad thing. Many parents assume that low grades mean their child is lazy, distracted, or hanging out with bad influences. But in reality, there are many reasons beyond a child's control. Some kids struggle because they have undiagnosed vision problems, making it hard to copy notes quickly. Once they get glasses, their performance improves. Others may be dealing with family issues, bullying, strict teachers, or the stress of transferring schools, all of which can impact their grades. A friend who moved abroad shared, "In our country, grades are read out loud in class, and students are publicly praised or scolded. But here, everything related to grades and evaluations is confidential. Even praise is given discreetly." A low grade is not something to be ashamed of, It simply represents a gap in knowledge that can be filled with learning and practice. As Benjamin Franklin once said, being ignorant is not so much a shame as being unwilling to learn. So, what should parents do? Grades aren't everything. What really matters is whether your child is learning and improving every day. If your child gets a low grade, instead of scolding them, try understanding the reason. Is your child struggling with a subject? Are they missing foundational knowledge? Teaching them more effective learning methods instead of just increasing study hours. Encouraging them to focus on their strengths instead of expecting perfection in all subjects. Creating a stress-free learning environment instead of turning school into a source of fear. Grades are just numbers. The most important thing is that your child is learning to think, develop skills, and adapt to life. So, instead of demanding high scores, help them understand that low grades mean we need to learn more.